joined today by Mitch Thomas, CEO of Solis Minerals. Mitch, thanks for your time.
Yep, great to be here, David. Thank you very much.
For those who don't know the company, it's largely the team behind Latin Resources who delivered a $600 million windfall to its shareholders in recent years. What brought this team together and what's the strategy?
Yeah, so look, the Latin Resources story is a fantastic one for junior and mid-cap miners and investors. And a very, very quick synopsis is that after many years, I guess being in Peru and then Argentina and then finally ending up in Brazil, it was actually in January 2022 that they received the drilling permits to start looking for lithium in Minas Gerais in Brazil. A month later, they announced that they had hit or intercepted spodumene in pegmatites in that part of the world. And that was, early 2022. Fast forward 2.5 years, we sold the company for $600 million. And, it just goes to show, I guess, what you can achieve in that part of the world. And I guess to your question as to, what that means for Solis Minerals is that once we'd completed that divestment, shareholders were very satisfied. We were kind of looking around and thinking about, well, what do we do next? And Solis was the rebirthing of that team. So we've got Chris as my chairman. We've got Tony as a non-executive director. Many of the management and technical team supporting have come from Latin Resources. So we'll get to it, but this Brazil lithium acquisition is really trying to start and look for the same objective, which is a large discovery of lithium in Brazil.
And what attracted you to this project?
Look, so we see projects, every single week, and it's tough because you have to make a very quick assessment and not everything that makes sense. But I think for a few reasons, the success that we had there with Latin Resources, so obviously selling that project in February last year for $600 million gives us an excellent track record. The relationships, the knowledge that we have part of the world was obviously a starting point. Lithium fundamentally is in a very strong place. I mean, everything going on geopolitically, Middle East, etc., fortunately has been very favorable to lithium, and we're big believers. We're bulls in this lithium and energy transition story. But the third point, and this really is the most important, is that the projects that we've acquired from Rio Tinto have excellent technical credentials. So the work that Rio Tinto has done over 3 years really far exceeds anything that we probably would have done standalone. So the projects are drill ready. We've got 2 that are ready to go, and we're aiming to start drilling in June 2026.
And as you say, a lot of data, a lot of targets, but no drilling. Is that the exciting bit?
Look, that is the exciting bit, and that's the opportunity. And a little bit of an explanation there is probably necessary in that anyone that's followed lithium, it's incredibly cyclical. It's an immature industry. It's, feast or famine. And between, say, 2024 and 2025, spot prices in the market were down. So Rio Tinto did rock chip samples, they did soil samples, they did auger drilling, but they didn't do any diamond drilling. And that was really a product of the market. And the fact they purchased Arcadium, which is mainly Argentina and, brine and DLE flow sheets. Hard rock just wasn't, I guess, on the agenda. And look, I worked for Rio Tinto for 12 years, including the CFO of battery materials. So I have some insight. I don't want to go too far, but we were really the benefactors of an excellent opportunity that the market wasn't supporting within Rio Tinto. But for us is opportune.
And another string to the bow, copper in Peru. Why these projects?
Look, so we love copper, and we have 2 excellent projects in the pipeline in Peru. So they're called Cinto and Cucho. It's fair to say that we have been delayed in getting drilling permits for Cinto. The projects, and specifically Cinto, does not have any issue. We've been held up with bureaucracy. It's an election year in Peru, so we do intend to get all the green lights to begin drilling at Cinto in the very near term. But given the reception that we've had to the Brazil lithium project, that will be the third cab off the rank in terms of drilling exploration. But we have Cinto and Cucho waiting to be drilled. So when we get a good window, they will be tested because they're excellent porphyry targets.
And it appears you've deliberately picked up projects sitting adjacent to or in near vicinity of majors. What's the strategy there?
Look, I think, we know our strengths and we also, I guess, acknowledge our weaknesses. And for us, we like exploration, we like finding good projects, but we don't, I guess, like complications or risks is probably the better way to put it. So if we can find well-placed projects in good parts of the world with good infrastructure, with no community issues, no environmental concerns, the pathway to market for us is one, a lot more efficient, and that means, time and money. But essentially, it's just a simpler pathway to market. So if we do get that success with the drill bit, we can get to market a lot easier. And as you mentioned, all of our projects share this, I guess, consistent theme that they're located close to very large operations. And so, quick pathway to market.
Catalysts. What should investors be focused on from the company over the next 6-12 months?
So a lot of good news. So again, focused on lithium and copper, both, prices and outlook for both of them structurally are very strong. So we want to feed the market what they want, and that will commence with drilling in June 2026 with drilling of the Brazil lithium project. So we'll start with one project, we think at the moment, and then sequence into another, but there'll be visuals, there'll be assays along the way. And then also when we get the opportunity and we have all our permits in place, we'll drill our 2 excellent targets in Peru. So I am forecasting a very strong second half to the year, and that's what we'll deliver.
High value opportunity in world-class locations, surrounded by majors who are no doubt keeping an eye on your operations. Exciting times ahead for Solis and its shareholders. Mitch, thanks for your time.
Yep, thanks very much, David. Speak soon.